You grind for months, maybe even years, and your bank account still mocks you. $3,200, $7,500, maybe $18,000 if you're lucky. You cut expenses, work weekends, hustle harder, and yet the goalpost feels as far away as ever. Everyone says just save and invest, but no one tells you how soul-crushing the climb to your first $100,000 can be. The truth is, the first $100,000 is a battle against the math, the mindset, and your own momentum. But something strange happens. After you hit that number, things start moving faster. Today, I'll show you exactly why that first six-figure milestone feels impossible, and more importantly, what finally changes to make the next $100,000 feel almost easy. Why the first 100,000 is so hard. The math is brutal. Let's break it down with cold, hard math. If you save $1,000 a month, it will take you over 8 years to save $100,000. And that's if you never lose your job, never deal with emergencies, and somehow avoid lifestyle inflation. Now factor in taxes, rent, groceries, car payments, and guess what? Most people can't even save $500 a month. At that rate, you're looking at 15 to 20 years. That's not slow. That's discouraging. Meanwhile, inflation eats away at your money's value while everything around you, housing, education, healthcare, gets more expensive. So yeah, it's hard. Not because you're lazy, because the math works against you. At first, you're trading time for money. Most people trying to hit $100,000 are in their grind era. You work a job, maybe two. You're trading hours for dollars, and time? It's limited. You might have 16 waking hours a day. Subtract 8 for your main job, 2 for commuting and errands, 2 for eating and basic human needs. And you're left with 4 hours. That's your entire window to either rest or build your future. And that constant tug of war between survival and growth? That's what makes the journey to $100,000 feel like an uphill sprint with a backpack full of bricks. The learning curve is steep. Let's be real. Your first few attempts at making money will probably fail. Whether it's a bad business idea, a sketchy crypto investment, or an overpriced course you bought out of desperation, this is the tuition you pay to the market. No one escapes it. The problem? These early failures don't just cost you money. They cost you belief. And without belief, you stop trying. That's what traps people in this cycle. Working more just to stay afloat, with no energy left to try something new. The system is built to keep you small. The world makes it incredibly easy to spend, and incredibly hard to build. Your bank offers a 0.01% savings rate. Meanwhile, ads for new cars, phones, clothes, and vacations flood your feed daily. Everyone tells you to be smart with money, but when you try, you realize the entire system is built around consumption, not creation. You're not just fighting math or motivation. You're fighting a machine that profits when you stay broke. What changes? After $100,000, compound interest starts working for you. The most important shift after your first $100,000 is that you stop relying only on your labor to grow your wealth. Let's say you invested that $100,000 with an average return of 7% a year. Without adding another dime, you're now earning $7,000 a year. Passively. That's almost $600 per month, doing nothing but letting time and math work in your favor. Compare that to when you had $10,000 invested. At 7%, that's only $700 a year, barely enough to buy groceries. The difference? Compound interest feels like a joke when you're broke, but once you hit $100,000, it starts feeling like a real wealth engine. Your confidence skyrockets. Your first $100,000 isn't just a financial milestone, it's psychological. When you see 6 figures in your account for the first time, something inside you clicks. You proved it's possible, that you're not a victim of the system, that you can actually win at this game. Confidence leads to better decisions. You stop chasing shiny objects. You start thinking long-term. The noise fades, and clarity kicks in. You start playing offense, not just defense. In the beginning, you're playing defense. You're dodging bills, fighting debt, and clipping every dollar you can save. But after $100,000, you get to play offense. How you start thinking in terms of investing, acquiring assets, starting a business, buying equity, and building systems that pay you back. And that shift, from being reactive to being strategic, is what makes the next $100,000 come faster. Opportunities find you. Here's a truth most people never talk about. Once you prove you can build something, more people want to work with you. Your first $100,000 is often lonely. No one cares. No one helps. But once you have assets, credibility, and momentum, opportunities start appearing in your inbox. Investors, collaborators, clients, even better paying jobs. Why? Because you now look like a safe bet, and people love betting on winners. How to actually reach $100,000? Understand your real income to saving ratio. Here's the golden rule that you can't save what you don't earn. If you're earning $3,000 a month, your path to $100,000 is going to be slow. Your goal isn't just to budget better, it's to increase your income. And that starts by doing one of two things. Move into a higher paying field, like tech, sales, or healthcare. Stack high leverage side hustles, like freelancing, copywriting, content creation, or online business. If you want $100,000 fast, your savings rate needs to hit 50 to 60% of your income or more. Eliminate high-interest debt. Credit card debt is like compound interest in reverse. At 20% plus interest, it's mathematically impossible to build wealth if you're constantly losing ground. Step 2 is simple. Cut the debt. Freeze the spending. Automate minimum payments, then aggressively pay down the highest interest balance first. Don't invest heavily until the bleeding stops. Build one stream of focused income. Forget 10 side hustles. Pick one skill, one niche, one income stream, and build it relentlessly. The fastest paths to $100,000? Freelancing, writing, design, video editing, marketing, consulting, productized services, logo design, website creation, ad management. Digital products, ebooks, courses, templates. Content-based monetization, YouTube, TikTok, newsletters. You only need one stream to take off to hit your goal, but it needs your full focus. Automate and invest early. Waiting to invest until you have more is the biggest trap. Start investing something as early as possible, even if it's $50 a month. Why? Because this does two things. It builds the habit of paying yourself first. It lets compound interest start quietly working behind the scenes. Use automation to your advantage. Set up automatic transfers to a high-yield savings or brokerage account, auto-investing into low-cost index funds like VTI or S&P 500 ETFs. The earlier you treat yourself like an investor, not just an earner, the faster $100,000 becomes real. The psychology that gets you to $100,000 and beyond, delayed gratification, is your superpower. The core of wealth building is one concept: delayed gratification. Most people lose the game not because they aren't smart, but because they can't wait. They want the upgrade now. They want the trip now. They want it to look rich before they are rich. But the people who actually win, they play long-term games with long-term people. They learn to say no now so they can say hell yes later. Boredom is a feature, not a bug. Here's something no one wants to admit. Building to $100,000 is boring. It's not flashy. You're not day trading crypto or flipping NFTs. You're showing up to work. You're stacking cash. You're investing in index funds. You're saying no to 90% of distractions. It's slow, it's repetitive, and it works. So here's the truth. The first $100,000 is the hardest money you will ever make. Not because it's a huge number, but because it forces you to change everything. How you think, how you earn, how you spend, how you value time. It feels slow. It feels lonely. It feels like the world is stacked against you. But if you can push through this phase, if you can stay consistent, focused, and patient, then everything changes. Because the second $100,000, it builds on the first. The systems are already in place. The habits are already installed. The momentum is real. And now, you're no longer guessing. You know how to play the game. Most people never cross this milestone, not because they aren't capable, but because they give up right before the compounding kicks in. Don't be that person. Don't quit in year 2 when year 3 is where the magic starts. Don't switch paths a dozen times when consistency would have made you rich. If this video helped you reframe the journey to your first $100,000, hit that like button so more people see it. Drop a comment below. What's your biggest struggle or lesson on the road to $100,000? And if you're ready to go deeper, subscribe for weekly videos on how to build wealth without hype or fluff, just real practical systems. Until next time, keep going. Your future self is already proud of you.